Hello and welcome back to Airfix Beyond the Basics. In this session we'll be building and finishing the Alvis FV622 Stalwart Mk.2. A distinguished amphibious 6x6 British military vehicle, and as we'll quickly discover, around 95% of the model is finished in green. Everything from the hull to the side panels and most of the fittings. The small exceptions are the seat pads, which are black, the tyres, which are dark grey or black, and the rear load cover, which is finished in khaki. Apart from those subtle variations, the majority of this build will be assembled and then painted as one piece before we begin weathering. We start by preparing the main hull components. A few holes must be drilled before assembly, one in the rear section and several on the back panel, drilled at an angle as indicated in the instructions. These piercings will later receive accessories and mounting points. With those drilled, we move on to the Amphibious propulsion units. These are the water drive assemblies unique to the Stalwart's amphibious capability. We fit those carefully to position, gluing from the inside so that the joints remain clean externally. Once both are set, we attach the side housings and rear panel, checking alignment and dry fitting before committing to glue. The fit is excellent throughout, and completing this stage corresponds to the first section of the build. Following our everything green principle, we move to the crew compartment. The seat frames are glued into the cabin floor, but the seat cushions are left separate so we can paint them black later. With those set aside, we fit the side seats, inner walls and instrument console, each component aligning with locator tabs for a precise fit. We also assemble the radio rack subunit, then attach it onto the console. Next we build two smaller components and fit them to the bulkhead, before installing the entire assembly into the hull. The instructions then call for the cab sides, front panel, top plate and roof. To ensure a perfect fit, we glue these major surfaces together while dry fitted to the chassis. This method lets us remove the cab as a sub-assembly later for painting and interior detailing. With that now dry, the cab can be lifted off and treated as a separate unit. We'll paint the interior and detail it before final installation. Meanwhile, we attach the side rails for the canvas load cover. For best accuracy, we glue only one end, allow it to cure, then align the opposite end, preventing misalignment or twisting of the rail. Next we fit the tailgate and build the large stowage box that sits above it. The exhaust system also goes in this area, but since it's finished in a contrasting colour, we'll hold off final installation until after painting. Turning our attention to the underchassis, we install the suspension and drive assemblies. These units pass through the hull mounting openings. We glue only at the primary anchor points so that alignment remains true. We then build the drive shafts, each comprising two halves, and follow the instructions closely. These parts are handed left and right, so orientation is important. Once the shafts are installed, we attach the torsion arms and suspension boxes. This stage can be intricate, so we progress deliberately, checking each step of the instructions for correct orientation. When complete, the entire suspension assembly is structurally sound. We then install the brake discs on each wheel hub location, following the numbering scheme in the instructions. With the drive suspension systems complete, the model appears plain and bare plastic, but this is simply the foundation for painting and weathering. With assembly essentially complete, we attach add-on fittings, tow hooks, number plates and other small details, including the pieces we drilled earlier. We then fit the side hull covers and insert the internal rails. At this point, the model is ready for primer. We apply a full coat of black primer to the entire model. This unifies the surface, enhances the fine moulded detail and forms an excellent base for the green finish. Once the primer is dry, we spray the main hull, cab and chassis in the appropriate deep green used on British Army vehicles of this era. While this dries, we can finish off the cab interior. We paint the seat pads black and then complete the cab by installing the seat backs and instrument panels. We apply the instrument decal to the console, and once the adhesive sets, we can add interior weathering powders to simulate foot traffic wear and mud. With the cab detailed and weathered, we set it aside for final installation. The exhaust is then painted separately using a mix of black acrylic and rust tone pastel powder to create a convincing oxidised metal look. Then we attach the side cover and paint that green to match the hull. We model these in the closed position so we fit both covers and the central panel while still loose from the main hull to allow access. With all major painting done, we can now proceed to the black camouflage pattern. For authenticity, and because real vehicles often had brush applied treatment in the field, we mask loosely in pencil and then brush fill the flat black sections with acrylic. Once the camo is complete, we seal the model with a matte varnish, then begin weathering. Using fine powders and washes, including a dedicated grime wash and sandtone pigments, we apply layers across the surfaces. Dust, mud splatter, panel wash and drips. We allow drying between layers to simulate real operational wear without overdoing it. We then fit the windscreen. Before gluing it into place, we paint the edge trim black to hide reflections from the clear plastic. At this point, the model begins to read as a working vehicle in the field. Next, we can move on to wheels. Each wheel consists of a hub and a tyre. We paint the hub in the same green as the hull and the tyre in dark weathered black. After cleaning up the assembly, we can now attach all 6 wheels to the vehicle. The stance instantly grounds the model and gives it presence. With major assembly done, we finish smaller detail work and decal placement. We apply number plates, unit markings, hazard labels and tactical stripes. Finally, we can fit stowage details. Water bottles, a pickaxe head, handle, shovel, wooden tool rack, water butts and a small auxiliary box. The canvas cover is placed over the rails at the rear. For displays you could add tie-down cables, but we leave the cover removable for display versatility. After a final sweep of matte varnish and a gentle dust layer to unify the finish, the build of our Alvis FV622 Stalwart Mk.2 is complete. The finished model presents as a rugged, well-used vehicle. Just the right level of weathering for this type of machine. It's a straightforward model in many respects, yet richly rewarding, thanks to the detail and the nature of the finish. Its modular build and fine fit make it suitable for both intermediate and advanced modelers. Thank you for joining us at Airfix Beyond the Basics for the Alvis FV622 Stalwart Mk.2. As always, please like and subscribe, and happy modelling.